All right, I think my live has begun. Hi, everyone. My name is Be the Gem or Barbara. How are you all? I hope everyone's having a good night. Let me turn that off before anyone shows up. Um, yes, I did go live. Can you not see me? Oh no. Hi. All right, so someone sees me. How are you? So, okay. Everything's working now. Perfect. Okay, so hi everyone. My name's Barbara, or Be the Gem, as I said previously. Um, I'm here to do some live tarot readings from Mysticsense for you guys. I know that Sarah, our moderator, is going to put down my information down below. So if I don't get to your question or if I can't explain your question fully, um, then we can go more in depth on my account. So, all good. So let's get started. Hi, how are you? I'm good, Jennifer. Just sorry. I was just like Jess. No, I'm good. Slightly tired from a long day, but you know what? I'm really glad to be here because this is one of the fun things that I get to do with my life. So, doing well. I hope all of you are doing pretty good too. Let's get some questions. Okay, hi Kathleen. Let's see. Uh, if you see a reconnect with my son. Okay, let's see, Kathleen. Kathleen? Yes. Reconnecting with your son. Okay. Okay, so what I'm seeing is that there has to be some you both have to focus on yourselves and trying to figure out the relationship that you have between one another, whether that be, what issues you're both holding back from one another. So what I'm saying is like some of the like there's some emotions that you both might be harboring with one another, like some sort of resentment towards one another, or like some sort of disappointment or being upset. Both of you are kind of like clinging on to that, and I don't see anything happening in the near future. What I do see is that you kind of have to start this energy of like being in a fresh mindset and putting yourself into like a fresh pair of shoes, starting anew, kind of figuring a few things out before you can kind of dive deep into a more serious relationship with your son. Because for now, I just don't see any communication being of value, if that makes any sense. Um, it's just gonna like it's just gonna be two people that are both like frustrated, kind of holding back what they're feeling and kind of being upset, but like still being upset with one another, but not talking about it and trying to avoid the situation and kind of running away from it altogether. So Not in the near future. It's time to kind of more focus on yourself and kind of self-reflect a little bit. Um, and then we'll see where it goes from there. But both of you need to mature. It seems like he does need to mature a little bit more on his own too, independently. So I hope that helps. Let's see who's next. Jennifer, of course. My mind is going too fast. Too much is going on to ask anything specific. So general, please. Okay, that. Sorry, my brain had to like process what I was reading. And I was like, okay, I got it. I got it. Um, this is just a general reading. All right, yeah, no, you've got a lot. Wow, all major arcanas, and they're like the big ones, like all of the big ones. um, so I can see here that you're kind of going through it emotionally, like you're kind of at your wit's end here. That tower moment is, when your world starts kind of coming apart and you kind of feel like everything's going in flames and you're not sure why. Um, and it feels like everything's falling apart and you don't know what to catch first. Um, and is what I'm kind of getting, like you don't like which straws to grasp first, like which dumpster fire should I like use my tiny cup of water for first is what I'm kind of getting. But with the justice card, I feel like this is something that's something that you have to do, that's necessary for you to kind of transition in your growth. Um, and I always like to remind people that karma is a real thing. So what you put out is what you give in. And that justice card kind of reminds us of that, right? Like that good, but also that like shady side, but she's also got that weight and those scales evened out. So at the end of the day, being shady is never effective, and taking the high road is always the good choice. And then I had the temperance card too, which is like also talking about that balance that you need, right? Um, like kind of having your feet dipped in a little bit of everything and a little bit of nothing. Um, what's the saying that I usually say? I know a whole lot of no, I know a little bit of everything, so I know a whole lot of nothing, right? But that's kind of the energy you have to have at this point because going with the flow and kind of balancing out, whatever dumpster fires you've got going on around you right now, trying to find the little things that will calm you down. Like, is that a crossword puzzle? Is that, I don't know, painting by numbers? Is that like whatever that is for you, taking a walk around the block, whatever that is for you, like that has to be done to kind of balance yourself out. Make sure that you regroup and like center yourself, because once you're centered and you're like focused in and kind of honed in, then it's a lot easier to make decisions, and you feel at least you feel more confident about the decisions that you're making because you're coming from a clear headspace rather than like the chaos that's in your mind. And at the bottom of the deck I had the sun, which is a great card. I mean, it's like one of the I don't know if it's the happiest card in the deck, but or it probably is, I don't know. So you see that light at the end of the tunnel, like you see that energy, of like this dumpster fire is just temporary, and like you see that happiness is gonna come around soon enough, and like whatever you're going through right now is worth it. Um, it's just a matter of kind of getting through it and kind of getting into that new groove of whatever you're trying to accomplish. Um, that's what I have going, and kind of be open to like whatever's coming your way. You know, being open and curious is always the way to go. Never leading with fear, but more with curiosity always. So I hope that resonates. Let's move on to the next. Let's see who's next. Destiny. Will Keegan respond to my message on Instagram I just sent? I love it. Let's do it. DMs are the worst in the sense of like I hate them because in theory, like I can't like because when you read a text message, you can read a text message and then not respond for a little bit. You have time to think it through. But once you open those messages, like you're leaving them on read. So there's that pressure to respond, and then you like don't know if you're responding right. And it's weird. And then you see that they read it and they're trying to figure out how to respond, and you're freaking out. Well, like shit, they read it, now they're leaving me on read. I think it's like a constant debacle that everyone deals with. So let's see. I mean, he's going to respond, and it's going to be like relatively soon, and it's going to be like I don't want to say snippy, but it's going to be more of a response than you expected. Hold on, I'm sorry. But I'm like that 8 of Wands is always like that kind of fiery, I'm like kind of going for it, I'm just gonna say it energy. So if you said something kind of putting yourself out there, that's probably maybe where it's going. They're gonna respond to. I mean, they're working on it. They're thinking about what to say. But yeah, they're clearly thinking about what to say. But overall, I see the response being good, and then I had the 10 of Cups at the bottom. So it looks like he'll respond, and it'll be a better response than you even anticipated. So I hope that resonates. Let's see who's next. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. I love hearing that. That's like literally, that's a high that every psychic always likes to chase, hearing that they helped. Let's see who's next. Manju, current feeling of why and next action they should take. Next action they should take, or next action like that you should take? I don't understand next action. So I'm just going to do how they currently feel. I'm gonna assume Manju meant the next action Y is gonna take. Good detail. Good eye. Thank you. Okay, so I mean, what I'm getting is a bit of like an emotional roller coaster. Because I had that chariot at the bottom of the deck. Um, so their energy and how they're feeling about the situation was the 5 of Cups. So to me, that's kind of just like, well, I'm gonna am I wasting all of this energy just like putting it into this pit? You know, like am I putting my effort and my energy into like this pit that I'm not gonna get anything out of, that I'm not gonna get any value out of or like any benefit from. Um Whereas I feel that your energy is the judgment card. So you're kind of looking for something like deeper and more meaningful and kind of with trying to look for a deeper relationship or like a more personal level to the relationship, like going when you try to take it to that deeper level and that other person isn't ready or they don't know that that's what you're trying to do, they're just gonna take it as like, why is it never enough? You know, like like anytime you like I just keep doing the thing that you like want me to do or like I feel like you want me to do, like I'm doing all of this, like when is it enough? Like when is it like when am I not going to be putting my like time and effort into something wasteful? So the outcome I had is that Ace of Wands again. So that's, you know, both of you have to come up and think about the things that you want to talk about on a personal level. So, you know, that's having that sit down conversation and saying, sorry, my nose is itchy. You know, having that sit down conversation and saying, listen, this is what's not working for me. This is what is working for me. Like, this is what I expect. This is what I don't expect. And that's the advice that you got with the Queen of Swords. It's kind of, you know, you have to be honest, not only with him and what you want or expect from him, but you have to be honest with yourself as well. And once you're honest with yourself with what you want and what your expectations are out of the relationship, you'll know what to expect from him and you'll be able to verbalize whatever it is that you want to. So I hope that helps. Let's see who's next. Rohan. Hi. Hi, ma'am. Hi. Just one tarot card defining all that will happen for the coming days. What that card would be. Thanks. It's a lot of pressure for one card. So many expectations on one card. No, I'm kidding. I generally like pulling one card. They're like a good vibe check, you know. Kind of lets you know what point you are in your life right now and like how to go about it. What part of the cycle of the 22 cards are you in? Let's see. One card for Rohan. I have the Knight of Pentacles at the bottom. I feel like you're a card reader, so you just kind of wanted the card and without the explanation. But what I'm getting here is, you're starting to see the benefits from whatever work you've been putting in. I mean, it's not the ideal benefits that you're expecting, but it's slowly starting to come in, right? Like you're slowly starting to see those coins coming in, right? They're not big, they're kind of just like falling out of his pocket, but like they're not like stable like with him at all times. But he doesn't really care about that either, right? He's kind of just like living in the moment, appreciating what's around. So I hope that helps. At the bottom of the deck, I did have the Page of Wands. So I know you only wanted one card, but I always do the bottom of the deck. So you get two. Hope that helped. Let's see who's next. Miriam would like a general reading. Hope I'm saying your name right. Seems like a pretty basic name that I should be able to say properly without questioning myself, right? Oops. That felt like a good cut. When you cut the deck, sometimes it just like feels so smooth and like right. The cards just bend in the ideal way. No one else gets it, I know. It's probably just a me thing. It feels like you have a decision to make. And it's a relatively difficult decision. In the sense of like the outcome of either is pretty significant. What I have here is the decision that you make, you're just going to have to follow your heart with and kind of lead forward. And remember to love yourself and nurture yourself with it. So, never like beating yourself up over any decisions that you make, and like making sure that you nurture yourself and love yourself the way that you always wanted to be treated, and remembering that like when you make a decision from like an as centered place as you can be, and you make that decision out of love and out of recognition of what you want in your life, and not out of fear and like freaking out, well, like what are the consequences? I don't know if I can handle these big decisions. I don't know if I can handle this life. You can definitely handle it. You can absolutely handle it. And and like whatever outcome is going to be, like you're going to like have that foundation that you need to feel supported. I hope that helps. I hope that resonates. Let's see who's next. let's see who's next. Deborah. Deborah says, "Hi, my name is the birthday. Would like to know what Alex feels for me." Okay. Let's see. Like I said previously, if I don't get to you, or if we need a little more clarification on what I'm saying, my link will be pinned somewhere in that description. So you can reach me and we can go more in depth. I do video calls, I do phone calls, I do live chats, I do all three. So let's see. Deborah and Alex. Okay, so I feel like there was some drama. um, I feel like there were some words exchanged, and well, because his energy and how he feels about the situation is the Tower. So, like, that's a very kind of, as you can see, monumental change. Like, that lightning strikes, um, excuse my French, shit hits the fan kind of moment. And, those are when your reflexes kick in. Fight, flight, fight, fight, flight, freeze, right? Those are it? Yeah, fight, flight, freeze. I think those are it. Um, and some people just like fight and then just get yappy, and like that's their reflexes when their emotions are being like picked at and they like are poked at and they don't know what to do about it. And the energy that you have is that 10 of swords. You're kind of just like over it. You're just looking at on to a new day. You're just like, I'm not entertaining this shit. I'm over it. I'm not gonna keep doing it. But what the outcome I have is that Knight of Cups. So if you can see that kind of, I'm sorry, I'm gonna come back a little more mature, a little more established. I'm gonna think about my actions and what I've done and what I've said. And the advice here is the Seven of Pentacles. So kind of acknowledging the work that's already been put into the relationship. Um, and how much you've carefully worked to make sure it grows nicely. So, maybe a little hiccup in the road, with someone kind of having, because like to them, like, whereas you're just like, oh, this is petty nonsense, I'm over it. To them, this is a very big deal. To them, maybe this is like an emotional kind of shift or an emotional shift in perspective, like this seems like a more bigger deal to them because that is a major arcana card as opposed to your 10 of swords, which is just like, I've been there, done that, I'm not dealing with it. So this is having an impact on his life. So like, this is a very serious moment. So the advice is to kind of, take 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 a look at that relationship and see how much work's already been put into it and how much you've carefully wanted to watch it grow nicely. I know I feel like that work has been there, that foundation has been laid for you guys to have a good relationship. So don't let this little hiccup kind of get in your way. You know, like you're going to be comfortable and confident, but don't be stuck up about it. If that makes any sense. I hope that helps. Let's see who's next. Excuse my voice. I have no idea why I'm so raspy. Sally wants to know if she'll get to travel a lot this summer. I love that question. Let's see. I'll pull a card for each month. So June, July, August. You're welcome. Let's see. Jeez, come on. Can you not be so rude while I shuffle? Sorry, I talk to my cards sometimes. Because I'm in a void by myself. And I get too distracted reading the chats, so I'm not responsible enough to do that. So I gotta talk to my cards. Alright. So June feels like the month. Because in June I got the Fool, which is something very exciting. So, you know, in June, whatever that like trip you have planned out for June or whatever you've thought of doing in June feels like it's something that's going to be impactful and like I don't want to say monumental because that just seems so dramatic, but like, you know, there's like certain experiences that you have in life, no matter how like insignificant they may seem, even if it's just like a weekend getaway. Like sometimes they just impact you so much on an emotional level that you really grow from the experience. So this is kind of what I'm getting from that. Like you're kind of just going to really evolve on an emotional level from this energy and from this trip. July doesn't look great. Kind of like running away. So maybe come back in July because you have to like come back for something. And August looks like you might be penny pinching a bit from that trip in June. But you know what? It's going to be worth it because your heart's going to be so full. Honestly, whatever money that you spend on that June trip is going to be worth it. Like, don't beat yourself up over it either. Because, like, at the end of the day, money's here and money's gone in a quick second. It's all about manifesting. If you think in that kind of perspective of, you know, kind of, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? That like scarcity mentality. If you have that scarcity mentality that there's never enough, or kind of freaking out that there won't be enough, then there won't be money. But if you just kind of go about it like, I'll find some money somewhere, I'll get around to it, like it'll show up, right? So live your best life in June and like penny pinch in August because you're gonna have to get yourself back to even. But don't beat yourself up for it at all because it seems like it's gonna be so worth it and you're gonna have a great time. So hope that resonates. Let's see who's next. I speak my truth. My question is, what does Spirit want me to know right now? Okay. Let's see. Like this. for more urgent. Okay, Spirit's letting you know that you need to wedge that stick out of your butt a little bit and embrace that love and good energy that's around you. Like you have the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles. I mean, like, how great are those cards? And in the middle, I had the 3 of Pentacles. So it feels like, you have to understand that getting to a state of happiness takes work, right? And it feels like you're starting to see that, but like you have everything that you wanted from what I'm seeing. Like you're achieving and you're getting the things in life that you wanted in order to feel full and complete. And you just kind of keep looking back and thinking like, am I doing the right thing? Is this what I think it is? Like you're trying to like poke holes in the, well, like this isn't right, like I shouldn't be happy kind of a thing, where like, or you're just so used to kind of something always going wrong that you can't just embrace and live in the moment of being happy and chill. And so even, meditating to kind of get yourself grounded, and or like little practices of gratitude to remind yourself of like all the good things that you do have in your life and the things that you have achieved, in order to be happy. So I hope that helps and resonates. Let's see who's next. Um, Nav or Nave. I'm sorry, I don't know which one, but once what's coming in love rest of March. Okay. Let's see what the rest of March is gonna look like for Nave. Okay, well, I don't really know about your love life so much, but it feels like you're in a really big, like, emotional transition in your life right now. Or like what I'm getting is like you're kind of trying to remain calm and act as if you've got everything under control. But like if you look at that Chariot, he's like kind of going in the wind, like, yeah, I got this. Look, I'm in control of these two. Or like, look, I'm totally in control and balance of like what I've got going here with like with the Hanged Man just like hanging like that. And to a certain extent, you do have that control over it. But the knowledge is really that like having control isn't a real thing, or isn't a real concept. So you need to let go of trying to take control over a situation, or trying to take control, for example, of I don't know, maybe it is your love life. Because I'm not getting a love vibe right now. I'm sorry, it kind of like turned into a general reading, but it feels like you're in a really big place right now where you're making changes for yourself and the changes to make yourself more established and feel more comfortable in the daily routines that you're taking, you know? Um, and like love just doesn't make sense in that equation. And working on maybe those emotional like balances and like what are the things that emotionally affect me or like upset me or get to me, like or like what are the root causes of that, and kind of figuring that out first before you can kind of like go and take that step into the sunlight. If you could see like she's got to leave that bowl of like flaming of like whatever she's got, whatever she like burned to get rid of forever is like still in that darkness in that back, like as she's walking to that light. So I feel like you're gonna have to go through like those like darker self-reflective emotions first before you go into that light of like looking and like being open to something new and like lovey-dovey, if that makes any sense. I hope that helps. Let's see who's next. uh Empress Love. What's Kamar's true feelings for me? I'm a Taurus, he's a Cancer. Well, I'm not great with zodiac signs, um, but let's see. Once again, if I don't get to you, I'm so sorry, but I will be on my Mysticsense page, so you can catch me there for a bit after I'm done here. So the vibe I have for you right now is just to kind of rest with whatever mended heart that you have. Um, I feel like you might be a little more upset over something than they are, because the energy that they have is the Hierophant. They kind of have this like boss energy. Well, I didn't really do anything wrong. I'm kind of like living life, as you can see, just like embracing the moment, kind of living in it, thriving in it. Um, he feels like it's a good situation, but also as you can tell in this card, it's like a very lonely card in the sense that like it's a very independent, like on his own card. He's not like there's no partner around, like he looks very comfortable by himself. Whereas your energy I got was the Knight of Swords, which is kind of just like it looks to me like you're running towards like you're running towards that bike, but like what are you running? What do you need that bike for? Like where are you taking that bike? Um, it's either as far away from this person as possible or towards this person as fast as possible. And I feel like that's a very like seesaw kind of relationship y'all have going right now. I just kind of feel like they're very like, I'll say it, selfish. They're very self-centered, and if you fit into their equation, you fit into their equation. If you don't fit, then you don't fit. Bye. That's kind of what I'm getting here. With the outcome, I have the Nine of Wands, so that clearly gives me like, and then the advice I have is the Five of Cups. So remembering that you have like a cup, like all of these cups full. Like remember that he's not the end all be all, or like this circumstance or situation is not the end all and be all, right? Like keep your guard up in the sense of like don't let someone walk all over you or your emotions, or like don't let someone kind of shift the perspective of a situation to like turn in their favor. Um make sure you keep that guard up and make sure you keep, your head straight on. Like, no, this is what happened. We're not gonna rewrite what just happened. This is the truth. We're gonna stick to it. You're not gonna steamroll me into saying that something else happened. So, but that takes a lot of rest too to kind of be able to process those emotions. So I hope that helps and resonates. Let's see who's next. Josan. Hi, how are you? I'm good. How are you? I want to know if I should move on from this connection with Shakis. Shakis. Okay. Let's see if you should move on or not. Ooh, I'm a little behind. I can't make that decision for you, and neither can your spirit guides. That's a decision that very clearly has to be made on your own. Because I pulled one for you should stay or you should go, and both came out as these huge major arcanas of like the Emperor and Strength. So the card to leave was the Emperor, whereas the card to stay was Strength. And at the bottom of the deck, I had the Ace of Cups. So that to me just means I'm blocked off. This has to be a decision that you have to make with your own heart. And kind of focusing on your own emotions and what you want to like make that decision. I'm sorry, but like I've never had cards be so blunt with me before. Um you're I know it's hard to sometimes make a decision, but either way, you always have to remember there's no such thing as really making a wrong decision. It's just going to take you down a slightly different path, but like it's not going to take you down a path that you're not meant to be on, if that makes any sense. I'm sorry. I hope that resonates. I hope that gives you a little more confidence to listen to your heart and what it's saying and make that decision. All right, let's see who's next. Neela, may I have a general reading? Yes, you can. Okay, so I'm getting this energy and this vibe of you're kind of in a sticky situation now of like just getting past an argument, having some barriers up, building up some walls, feeling like you're walking away from a situation, kind of wiping your hands clean, like I'm over it. I'm not, no, we're done here. And you're kind of reigning in that own in your own energy of that own like self-sufficient. I'm comfortable. I don't need you. Look at her. Look at her. Look at that face. That is the face I strive to achieve every day. Like, that is the biggest mood on the planet. You know, look at her. She's comfortable. She's confident. She's so comfortable. She's so unbothered. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for you. That, you know, I'm good. I'm unbothered. You could play your shenanigans. I'm over here trying to build an empire. I'm over here trying to, you know, plant some trees that are going to last a lifetime or two. You know, like you're looking ahead. You're looking ahead at your choices. You're looking ahead at the plans that you have to make in order to succeed and like to strive and like whether that is your career or your life path, and you're trying to, you know, focus on yourself and make that decision of like, all right, like what do I need to make myself feel like that star and feel special, and like what is that life purpose I have going. Like you don't need anyone's side energy, and whatever like left you was supposed to leave, and it was meant to. um like you're going to be so much more emotionally satisfied in the long run for it, like without the drama and the nonsense. um it was a tough decision that you have to make, but they're like spirits saying that it was the right decision. Like getting rid of all these people, it's gonna let you have more stability and more sunshine in your life for sure. So don't doubt your decisions or like don't doubt people leaving your life. um Hope that helps. Let's see who's next. All right, let's see who's next. Jalila. I hope I'm saying that right. How does Salah feel about me? Okay. Okay, so the way they feel about it is they're so with the wheel it's like there's cycles. It always spins, you know. You're never gonna stay up, you're never gonna stay down. So like there's just like the patterns of life. So whatever, I don't want to say negative or bad energy, but like whatever are how do I phrase it? Like, because clearly you're both in like a weird space because your energy is that Five of Swords. You're very in your head about something. Um, Whereas maybe you're very in your head about it and you can't see past it. Whereas they feel as they can get past it, they see that like that light and dark, the spin one time is going to be good, the next it's going to be like pretty crappy. And it's about kind of knowing that balance and expecting that balance to be a normal part of life. And the advice the outcome I have is the Page of Swords, and the advice I have that Queen of Wands. So, it's being that like spunky self of yours, it's being that like little spunky fire personality that you've always been, and like don't get so in your head about who you are because they're with you for that personality. They're not with you like just for a piece of ass, like at a certain point you get past that like sexual, physical kind of thought process and you get back into that personality. And they like you for your personality. So don't hide it or don't try to cover it up somehow. Just be yourself and they'll come around to it. And yourself seems like a great, fun person. So you don't have to feel like you're hiding stuff, if that makes any sense. Okay, I believe that was my last reading for the night. Um, I know I didn't get to a lot of people, and I'm really sorry. um, but I try to give like good and informed, a little bit more descriptive readings. I hope they resonated. I hope they helped. I'm gonna go hop on my personal Mystic Sense page for a few minutes. And I hope to see some of you there. Thank you so much and have a good night. Bye.